Hey, good afternoon to the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Thursday. Ready to go on this 5th day of March. Again, our day of fun and frolic is up to 19. We got all kinds of things to talk about and folks to talk to. We've got NFL, got Major League Baseball. Oh, gosh, Daniel Norris starting today, should be starting with the Blue Jays. We've got a college basketball coach gets a vote of confidence from his AD. The fans are after him. Tell you all about that. Of course, high school basketball, we're going to go live to Murfreesboro. We'll tell you right now that we talked to Doug Fritz a few minutes ago, and everything's been put on hold because of the ice in Murfreesboro. They've canceled all the games today, so we'll go there live in a little while, talk to Doug Fritz. Also, we got the quiz show for Buzzer today. We have sports. Gosh, how would you do these? Sports, music trivia, and then I guess book trivia. So
literature
trivia. There you go. So we'll try that with the Buzzer coming up here in about a half hour. Also, we'll hear from Jimmie Johnson and Martin Truex Jr. getting ready to go to Vegas and get it cranked up this weekend for the next stop of the NASCAR Series, both the Xfinity and the Sprint Cup Series. David Carmichael of the Johnson City Parks and Rec. And David Crum, the TWRA officer, I will ask him today,
where the fish went.
Where do the fish go? Where do the fish go? It's been driving me nuts. Where do the fish go when the waters drop down to the level they are on Boone Lake? And everybody I've asked has looked at me very quizzically like, I don't know, who cares? Basically is what they look at. But I'm an inquiring mind. I want to know where they go. So anyway, today's show brought to you by Bracket Asphalt Maintenance. Talked to those kids yesterday. They're going to be at the home show tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, if you go there tomorrow or Sunday, you get a picture with the Apester. How about that? Oh, yeah. And,
I would demand you get a picture, though, with the Hump Day hat.
With the Hump Day hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, her little camel Hump Day hat.
Yeah, that's her, man. I mean,
that's who she is.
That's who she is now.
Let's practice. So we can do that with the Apester. And then if you did it with Tommy, you'd put rabbit ears behind him on the Weinman man. So they're going to be there this weekend at the home show tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday at Meadowview. One of our great sponsors, Max Medicine Mart. Willow Tree Angels will be the name of the figurine that I forgot yesterday. They've got a bunch of those in stock. Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, #1 farmers agent in 5 states. One of our great sponsors. Vito's on Main Street. Cherokee Barbershop. You already checked in with Gator today. We made a boo-boo yesterday. He brought that to our attention. That's a shocker that we would make a boo-boo. Larry Kosh, Nationwide Insurance, with a thought for the day. Also, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, and also our good friends at Wells Fargo Financial Network. That would be the good folks. That would be Jeff Bedford and Natalie Wells and Tim Colvin and our buddy Greg Taylor. So those are the folks making up our show, and we're getting ready to add some more in the first of the week, which we're very excited about. Have a story right out of the gate. This is good stuff. And we've talked, we've had stories. The girls wearing the pink number jerseys got in trouble in California. We had the teams throwing the game last week down in Middle Tennessee. Here we go. You ready for this one?
You're going to get me going this morning.
Oh, this is good.
How you doing, Tom?
By the way, hi, Horse. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I forgot to say
had to follow
horse.
a snowplow in here this morning, but
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see. We have the growing list of things he doesn't like. We'll weigh in on what is weighing on now. Schools and snow days. That just pulls your string, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Get it out of your system.
You may go ahead and say something about it.
Let it rip. That's what you want to do.
I think they're a bunch of wimps.
Okay. There you go.
When I grew up, snow days, come on.
Yeah.
Schools and systems and states, they prepared for it. Here in Johnson City, they stick their head in the sand. And, based on a 50% chance of being right by a weather forecaster.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind. And what about the parents' responsibilities of getting these kids to school? If it does snow, okay, so be it. Have a snow route. Have the buses on main roads only, and have the parents get them to the bus stop. And there are no bus stops anymore. They drop them off at their front door.
Yeah, I noticed when I used to follow the buses in the mornings, they would stop, and wherever the kid lives, about every 100 feet, the kid would that's where they'd stop in the bus and make lots of stops. When I was a kid, y'all had to gather at one spot to catch the bus. And that would be called a bus stop, whether it's in front of where we caught it was in front of a store in the mornings, but everybody knew just to be in front of the store at 7:30 to catch the bus to go to school. So anyway, he's all worked up over the schools and snow days. And then I hit a nerve, before we can get into the show, I hit a nerve about old bands trying to make a comeback. One of the trivia questions today for Buzzer involves music trivia. Fleetwood Mac is going to be in Knoxville on Sunday. And, of course, Horace just –
I'm gonna. This is. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I guess it's about 5 or 6 years ago when the Rolling Stones headlined the halftime.
No, I didn't. Well, I saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
Let me tell
Not
you something.
much.
Mick Jagger up on the stage.
Yeah.
Looked like a grandpa with flabby arms. And I'm sorry, man. These people that try to make comebacks when they're 50, 60, 70 years old, they don't have the energy. They don't have the sound that they did back in the 70s. I'm sorry. Let it go.
Okay. All righty. We're off and running today. Horace got that out of his system. He has vented. Things are good. So here we go. I'm going to get you ready. I'm really going to get you going now.
Okay, here we go.
All right. This happened in Birmingham, Alabama. The cheerleaders and dance teams from Albany State and Tuskegee were sent home from the tournament after fighting. Cheerleaders and dance teams had a little brush up there at halftime. Fight happened at halftime of the school's first-round men's basketball game. Statement from the league commissioner says the obligation to observe basic principles of sportsmanship and fair play extends to all participants of the SIAC basketball tournament. Cheerleaders and dance teams from both Albany State and Tuskegee will be barred from performing for the rest of the tournament. Schools are sending them back to campus. So apparently we had a little brush up. It doesn't say any more what it is, but apparently it mentioned halftime. So
someone out-twerked the other. And they didn't like it.
Yeah. Somebody went out on the court at halftime, and maybe they were dancing better than they were dancing. And I have seen in games around here in the past where one cheerleading group will go out during a timeout, and the other group will come out, and they
alternate, and then they try to
outdo
the other. Yes, yeah. And that's competitive. I understand that. Okay, but a dance team, come on.
Cheerleaders and dance teams had a little brush up, and so a little scrape, and so they've been sent home.
Have you seen some of these dance teams? I'm telling you something. It's if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I mean, twerking to me is not dancing, and that's all they go out there and do, and it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Now, give credit to ETSU's and Science Hills. I mean, they go out there and it's athletic, and it's what I consider a dance team. But some of these schools have these teams that go out there, and they gyrate and do stuff it's not entertaining to me.
Daughters and granddaughters would not be involved in those.
No.
Some of them. So. Of course, the NBA, if you watch some of them, the dance teams of the NBA teams. Yeah. So, anyway.
And, of course, it's also who can make the smallest uniform.
The skimpiest uniform. So, anyway, the Albany State and Tuskegee cheerleaders and dance teams are sent home for fighting at halftime of the tournament game. So, I don't know if there was punches thrown or finger pointing or
a lot of hair pulling.
I don't know if there was even a fight. Well, I guess they did get in a fight. They had to have something happen. So
cat fight. We used to holler that in the hallways in high school. Cat fight.
It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Thursday. Here we go. NFL news. Let's start with our man in Denver says, I'll take a pay cut. We're coming back. Peyton Manning was going to take a $4 million cut, or will, and he'll be paid $15 million for 2015. The five-time MVP says he's coming back to play for the Broncos for another season, and he's going to do it for $15 million. So how about that?
Tom. Go ahead and say it.
What? I told you so.
Yeah. I said I told you so. You say I was right. Say I was right.
You said you said he was coming back?
I said this is all about the money.
Oh, because you told me at one point.
I said
the longer it lingers, you said it doesn't look good for Peyton coming back. I remember you saying that.
It has to be all about the money.
Yeah, well, it is. He took a pay cut to keep him. So
because he wants to play. It's not about the money to Peyton.
No, $15 million he's still going to make for 16 games. Yeah. So he's going to be all right.
He don't care. He
wants
to play ball.
Yeah, it's chump change. So,
but the Broncos won.
Because they got him.
In this battle.
Yeah, because they got him.
Yeah.
And he got the marquee guy
Elway
back.
said, we want you back, but we're not going to pay you. And that's why it took so long, because Manning had to go back and talk to his dad and talk to his people. And
probably his wife and everything going on.
Well, they want to take several million away from me if they want me back.
So he's still going to make $15 million. So I don't have a lot of sympathy. I mean, I'm not.
Was this a re-signing year for him?
I have to double check on that.
If it wasn't, he could have held their feet to the fire, and he could have just said, pay me.
Yeah. I think he took a pay cut. I think he restructured his contract. So,
well, I mean, right, because of this.
Yeah. We'll double check on that here in just a second, because I think
but I'm saying, was he supposed to be renegotiating his contract, or was he still under contract?
Yeah.
I think he was still under contract, and the Broncos said, we want to free up some money so we can get some better players to help you out, or something along that line.
Let's delve into that, Horace. We'll check on that here in just a second. Get a chance. Just go to the pooter there and dig that thing up and see. Defensive tackle Vince Wilfork hope I'm saying his name right, for the Patriots, 11 years. They're not putting up his option. He'll be a free agent come Tuesday. He was due a $4 million bonus on the 10th, which would have been this coming Tuesday. He's going to make $3 million in 2015, so he's going to make $7 million. They've cut him loose. There's another one out on the free agent market. 11 years of the Patriots. And then also, you should be happy your 49ers are picking up Darnell Dockett, coming over from after 11 years with the Cardinals of Arizona. 2 years, $7.5 million contract, $2 million guaranteed. So Darnell Dockett's going to San Francisco. I believe he's a defensive end, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the story there. So let's go back up here and see what we got here. I'm going to try and find this real quick and see. Now you got me ciphering, and I don't know. Let's see if it was a contract year for Peyton. Here we go, right here. I got it sitting right on it here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello, by the way, to our buddy, the Gator Man, down at Cherokee Barbershop. All right, come on, computer. Why is it when you hit this thing it don't go fast? There we go. Now
use your little wheel on the button there.
Let's see. Let's go down here. Manning on Wednesday agreed to accept a salary reduction from $19 million to $15 million for the 2015 season. Team confirmed that he passed his physical and signed the new contract. Let's see. Manning, I'm scanning down through here. Manning will have the opportunity to make up the difference with incentive clauses tied to team performance. If the Broncos advance to the Super Bowl, Peyton will get $2 million. He'll earn an additional $2 million if they win the Super Bowl and he takes home the Lombardi Trophy. So if he gets the MVP and they go to the Super Bowl and win it,
he gets the trophy.
The money he loses up front on this $4 million, he'll get it back at the end of the season. So 5-time MVP mulled retirement after the Broncos' playoff loss to the Colts. I'm trying to see. It does not say if it was a re-up year or not for him. Apparently it was not. So
but they wanted to renegotiate.
Yeah.
Or they could have just cut him, paid him, and sent him home.
So he has agreed he's going to take a cut and pay, but he can make it back up if they win the Super Bowl, if he wins the MVP. So he gets his money back. Of course, that's a big if. But bottom line is Broncos will have Peyton Manning back there running the show for 2015, making a paltry $15 million this year. So there you go. College basketball, Tom Crean, Indiana coach, on the hot seat. Fans want him booted. Athletic director said, nope. We're going to stick with him. He's our guy. And so the Indiana University coach for now, Tom Crean, on the hot seat for the Hoosiers. And, again, they still use the template, the barometer they go by, Bobby Knight. And so Tom Crean being compared to him as far as performance, and they said, we're going to go ahead and let him stay. And he got a vote of confidence for now anyway from the athletic director at Indiana. Our Bible verse today, again, our show, as we always do, we dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross. That's what it's all about. Psalms 32:8. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. How about that? I will instruct you if you pay attention and listen, and I will teach you if you pay attention and listen in the way you should go, and I will guide thee with mine eye. So when God says he's going to guide you with his eye, I'd say that'd be a good way to go, wouldn't you think?
Yep, I'd be listening.
Yeah. Be following the lead, no question about that. Daniel Norris starting today, baseball down in where they're going to be pitching at, down in Sarasota tonight, as a matter of fact. Big story on the front page of ESPN, the man in the van. It's a great story. You got to read it. You got to go to ESPN.com. I'll give them a plug and read a story called "The Man in the Van." It's all about Daniel Norris living out of his $10,000 Volkswagen van.
He looks like a homeless fella.
Well, the story goes, this is great. This particular where the guy did the interview, Eli Saslow from ESPN did the interview with Daniel Norris. Well, that particular night he was sleeping behind in the van and behind some dumpsters in Walmart down in Florida. So he wakes up and he opens up a cooler, pulls out some eggs, opens up, smells them, wonder if it's still good, see if they haven't gone bad. They were good. He put them out on a little portable stove and started cooking them. And then so when he got ready to leave to head off to wherever he was going to go, the van wouldn't start, so he's patting up on the hood or the dashboard, like, come on, baby, fire up. So, and the best part is there's people down in this particular town in Florida that think he's homeless. They've been coming up and saying, we're going to pray for you, son, and they give him some little crimpled dollar bills to help him out because they think this guy's homeless, when in fact he's signed a $2 million bonus.
Let me tell you, I know this young man, Norris. He's not the typical athlete that goes out there and makes all this money and says, I'm going to spend it.
Exactly.
I know I won't say for a fact, but I imagine because of his past history and what I know of him, He's tucked a lot of this money away somewhere, invested it or put it back, and he doesn't need it right now. And he sees that. He's out there doing what he wants. He's having a ball doing it, making a living, and he just takes a piece of it to keep himself going. And when it's all said and done, he's going to be another Peyton Manning at the end. He's going to have all this money in the bank and be set up.
It's funny because he said he wasn't trying to impress people that didn't know. He said, I'm going to be me. He said, just, whether I make lots of money or no money, I'm going to be me. And he likes to surf. Has a surfboard that he pulls out of the back of the van and goes surfing. He said, it gets me away from the pressures of Major League Baseball as a young guy. I know somebody told me, maybe you told me, when he signed that bonus, he went and paid his father's business off in Johnson City.
I think he did that. I can't swear to that, but I think that was, he takes care of others.
Yeah.
He looks at others more than he does himself first. So it's.
And I got this on confirmation. He paid off his parents' home, and his parents, his dad has a bicycle shop in Johnson City. And the first thing he did was took care of them because he said, they took care of me all these years, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. So this guy, I'm cheering him on, and we want him to do good. Daniel Norris penciled in as a starter tonight for the Blue Jays.
He's nervous
against Baltimore. No,
he got his nerves out of the way when he went against Big Papi
last year.
Yeah, this is nothing to him. He's going up there and do his thing. I think he's going to do well tonight. I just got a good feeling.
I think spiritually, the way he is raised, now he's grounded in the Word and in the Lord. Sure he's going to hit some butterflies, but I think he's got everything pretty good in perspective. Like, if I do good, okay. If I don't do good, okay. Sun comes up tomorrow. So, and I love to meet this guy. I haven't had the chance to meet him, but he's been at your house with your son, right?
Yeah,
the man-child?
Spent the night at my house.
That's awesome. So, Daniel Norris throwing tonight. Again, good luck to him. We'll let you know how he does tomorrow. The Redlegs, we were all excited about printing World Series tickets yesterday, and then they came right back and laid an egg. They lost 4-2 to the Cleveland Indians. Billy Hamilton had a home run, so they're 1-1. They play again today at 3:05. Then tomorrow they play the Reds play the Cubbies tomorrow. How about that in spring training? So let's see who else. Let's go ahead and give you, out of fairness, the other teams that played and give you their final scores from yesterday in Major League Baseball. Your winners, Philadelphia beat the Yankees 3-1. A-Rod had a single in his first at-bat. Does that wow you at all?
No.
He's on the X card, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on the X, yeah.
Yeah, he's on the X card big time. There
Doesn't wow me. I mean, he's expected to perform. I mean, come on.
All right, here we go. A-Rod's on the X card. He don't care. If he could have hit 12 for 12 straight home runs.
But as a designated hitter, if all he did was get a single.
Not exactly setting the woods on fire, right?
No. Well, first game. I mean, come on.
Detroit, Toronto, the Mets beat Atlanta 8-2. San Diego, Kansas City, the White Sox, and Arizona all got W's in spring training. So
speaking of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
The Chase Field.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. The concession stand.
Chase Field has a new dessert. I'm going to throw this in here. I got a picture of it.
Yeah, let's throw it up there. The Charo Connection, is that right?
I got to get it right here. Hang on. Yeah. Here's if for those listening in, watching on live stream, and later if you want to watch it on YouTube, this right here is a churro dog.
Churro dog. Now tell me about a churro dog.
Well, you got this cinnamon sugary hot dog looking thing. In of itself, by itself, is great. Sitting in a hot dog bun, covered with vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, and caramel and chocolate syrup.
Wow, that's pretty good stuff there.
That's a heart attack.
What's it go for? What are they selling it for?
I have no idea. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. You're gonna get one.
I want one.
You watch your arteries go pop, just plug up.
The churro dog.
Churro dog at where this is gonna be at?
Chase Field. Where the Diamondbacks play.
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Arizona Diamondbacks.
So they churro dog.
We're going to make a road trip. We got to get us a churro dog.
Oh.
All right.
That's good stuff. The churro dog happening at Arizona, the Diamondbacks field. Coming up, we're going to be talking to the buzzer. Also got Jimmie Johnson coming up later on. Martin Truex Jr. Doug Fritz will join us live from Murfreesboro coming up next half hour. Also, we'll be checking in with David Carmichael with the Johnson City Parks and Rec a little bit later on in the show. And also David Crum, the TWRA. We're going to see what's going on again with
now,
the
what
fish.
What question are you going to ask him?
Where did the fish go?
Yeah.
Where did the fish go? I mean, I want to know.
And I'm going to say he's not going to have a clue.
All right, we'll go through this one more time. You have this big body of water and all these fish. The water goes down to the level they have at Boone Lake now. Where did all those fish go? Did they go upstream? Nobody's saying anything like a big fish kill on the dry part of the lake bed now. So where do they go? I mean, you have thousands of fish. People go out there and fish every day for these fish.
Big ones, little ones.
Waters go down. Water has gone down by design. Where'd the fish go? Did they get sucked under the spillway and going down? Did they swim upstream, get away from them? Because nobody's saying, well, there's a massive fish kill out here laying all these dead fish on the lake bed because there's no water. So where did the fish go? I've asked 3 people, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. And, of course, parts of Boone Lake, I've found this out, too, like up around Rockingham Marina. That part's going to be deep enough where they're going to be able to stay open. And a little bit farther up into the lake, apparently it's not as shallow as it is in different parts of Boone Lake. So Rockingham Marina said they're going to be open for business as usual because it's still deep enough to have it there, or at least deeper than it is other parts. But, again, the $100,000 question, excuse me, is where are the fish?
They're floating near Rockingham Marinas where they're at. Fish is going to be good.
There you go. At least right there, right? Because they're all going to be up. It's like fish in a barrel, right? All right, before we go to the break, college football. How about trying to block this guy? Tight end for the Baylor Bears next season, Laquan McCowan. 6'7", 410 pounds. Tight end.
410 pounds. And he's a tight end?
Tight end, yeah. 6'7", 410. McGowan, who normally lined up at guard last season, says he's going to try and be a tight end. He said the quarterback says his hands are about as big as my leg. So I just throw it out to the guys who will catch it. He's 6'7", 410 pounds.
That's a 5-yard play every time.
Oh,
I just throw the ball the whole game. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Who's going to take
because your defensive backs are probably 5'10", 6'1", maybe, tops, 180 pounds.
Trying to climb on top of his shoulders just to block the ball.
Take the whole team, bring him down. Yeah. It's a big gang tackle. So, anyway, in fact, the coach says the hardest thing with practicing with him is we don't want anybody injured. When he catches the ball, we don't want anybody to him to fall over on somebody. I mean, can imagine 410 pounds landing on you, and you're trying to tackle him. He's 6'7", 410, and they don't want anybody. In fact, I think I read here where they catch you, they stop the play and practice. Don't try and tackle this guy because you'll get hurt. He's 6'7" and 410. I mean, imagine. I don't know what you weigh. I know what I weigh, and I'm not 410, but I'm up there. And imagine a guy catching you. I mean, I catch the ball, and you turn and you try and bring me down. I'm 410 pounds, and I land right on you. I mean, you got to know there's, it's the law of gravity, isn't there? Physics. Every action is a reaction. So.
Well, I'm just trying to picture, the man-child's 6'5", 6'6", and he's about 220. And I'm sitting there going, okay, add another 200 pounds and maybe an inch and a half. And there he is. I'm going, dude, that's big.
Yeah, big boy. 6'7", 410. How much you tip now? I'll tell if you tell.
I've lost weight. I'm back down in the 270s. I was up there though.
Oh. You're at 270?
Somewhere around in there.
Oh.
I guess you didn't expect that, did you?
Nah, I guess time to go to break. Let's see here. Don't believe it. If you're at 270.
Now, come on. I did it. You got to do it.
Last time I got on scales, I was right around about 284. Okay. So,
well, you're just a tad taller than me, so we'll give it to you.
A little bit more meat on the hoof. But, wow. So take you and I and not quite doubles, but still, that's a lot more weight that somebody's going to get. Try and tackle a guy 6'7", 410. Anyways, the tight end for the Baylor Bears, and we're looking at him as a slot man and a tight end man. He's wearing a number 80 jersey, and they said it said to get enough material to stretch across this guy's jersey at 6'7", 410. I mean, that 8 and that 0 is big, and it's stretched to the back. So
use this as an analogy. Put him in the back of a half-ton pickup, put a couple bags of rock salt, and you got your load, baby.
Laquan, just sit back there during the snow. We'll feed you. You just stay back here and stay warm. You're going to be the way for our truck. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Again, we'll talk a little NASCAR and also buzzers coming at us in about 6 minutes of the quiz show. Also coming up, as we said, we'll talk to Doug Fritz live from Murfreesboro. Everything's been put on hold because of the ice they've had in Middle Tennessee today. David Carmichael will join us from the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Also, David Crum, the TWRA, will join us. In addition to the question about where's the fish, we'll find out what else is going on.
Where's the fish?
I know the licenses ran out at the end of last week, your hunting and fishing license. So if you're out buzzing around without those now, you're now in violation because they've expired at the end of February. So we'll find out where you can get those at as well. All that straight ahead tomorrow. Lots of NASCAR getting ready to head out to Vegas for the weekend and see what's going on there. But we do have some some short interviews today from Jimmie Johnson and also from Martin Truex Jr., the driver from the Front Row Chevrolet team. So quick break. We'll be right back. We've got the buzzer coming up. It is time for the quiz show. Coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us again on this Thursday. I want to say hello to Tony Balk of Evergreen, who listens and likes the show. Thank you very much. Also, Andrew Darlington of Johnson City. He likes the show. We appreciate that very, very much, and you can too. Just go to facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show and follow and like. Did I say that right? Did I do it correctly?
Yep.
Follow and like. And so here's a lady we like. She's our buddy, the buzzer, Alicia Phelps, Director of Tourism, Town of Jonesborough. Good afternoon, young lady. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good, Tom. How are you?
Good. How are your Miami Heat doing right now? I want to jump.
Hey, they're doing good. They beat the Lakers, and they're just after those trades, they're moving right along, aren't they?
I guess. Are they going to make the playoffs?
I think they're going to make the playoffs. It's going to take a little bit for them to mesh, but I'm excited that they've finally hit a string of good luck.
I like a lady who's optimistic. All right, now tell me about your Packers off-season. What do they think? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to test the free agent market? What do you think they need, I guess?
The Packers frustrate me so much because they always seem to trade their best players. I think that they're going to probably keep a lot of what they have this year. So it'll be interesting to see. I just got an alert that Peyton's back, so that'll be exciting.
Are you happy with that? Are you a Peyton fan?
Well, you have to like Peyton if you live in East Tennessee. So for sure glad to see that he's back, and, he still's got it. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play again.
I feel kind of sorry for him. I don't know if you do. I mean, the guy's he had to take a $4 million cut. He's only going to make $15 million next year. So
Horrible.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to eat. I don't know how he's going to feed his family making only $15 million. So anyway, yeah, he's coming back, and I think it's a testament to the class that he is. He took a cut because he wants to win a Super Bowl probably one more time. He's certainly run out of time. So, yeah, Peyton's back, and that's a good thing. That's pretty cool.
I think he has, after football, I do see him having a little career in comedy because I don't know if you've seen him on Saturday Night Live, but he is hilarious.
He is funny. Yeah, he really is, and he's got that dry sense of humor. And
yes.
Most of the commercials he does is very funny, and yeah, I think he's that, or certainly in a broadcast booth. So,
or maybe over at UT coaching. I'm just throwing that out there.
There you go. Could be. I would think as a recruiter, if he came and knocked on your door, and said, Buzzer, you want to come play for UT? I think that would kind of sway some people, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think? Have you heard the story about the dance team, the cheerleaders getting in a fight down in Alabama? They sent them home because they got at the fight.
No, I heard about this baseball fiasco with that. Well, no, it was basketball, that tournament where they were playing some illegal players, but I've not heard of the cheerleaders.
I want to get we're talking to the Buzzer. I want to get your take on this. Albany State and Tuskegee dance teams and cheerleaders sent home after fighting at halftime of the men's first-round basketball game. Apparently went out on the floor and had a little scrape up, and they got in the fight, and so they've sent them all home. And so I guess you would say there was a cat fight out on the court. And have you seen girls fight? Do they pull hair? They scratch? How do girls fight?
They do all of the above, Tom. That's why people love to see the girls fight.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine that you and Kev and we're all sitting there watching the game? We get it, and so we're going to go to the concession stand at halftime. We come back in and sit back down in our seat and look out on the floor, and got all these dance teams and cheerleaders just throwing punches and fighting and pulling hair and scratching and screaming. And that's probably better entertainment than watching the ball game, I would think.
Back in my day, that probably wouldn't have been as disciplined as it is now, because it didn't happen all the time, but it did happen sometimes with boys and girls of opposing and rival teams. But I also played powder puff football, and there were quite a few little scuffles in that too.
Okay, come clean. Were you ever involved in a scuffle in powder puff football?
No.
All right, you avoided the scuffles.
But on the tennis court, maybe.
Oh, really? Oh, all right. So you played tennis back in the day, and there was times you got a little heated. Is that correct?
Probably so. I did get kicked out of a tournament once.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not going any further.
I like it. We have
secrets we keep.
Yeah, we have a little hothead with us. That's good. So you got kicked out of a tennis tournament.
You know how I am about my sports, Tom. I'm very competitive.
You're very passionate. You're exactly right. Now, before we do the quiz show, tell me what's going on right now in Jonesborough this weekend.
Well, this weekend we do have a dance coming up. The Contra Dancers hit Jonesborough again. They come from several different states, so we're looking forward to that on Saturday. There is a free dance beginner's workshop before the official dance, and that's at 4:30 at the Visitor Center on Saturday. But next weekend is going to be a big one for us because we have Sheila K. Adams and the Scofflaws. Sheila K. is a very just renowned female storyteller of the Appalachians, so we're excited to have her in. First time we've ever had her band join her, and so we're talking about the banjo, the fiddle, just some good old mountain music, and they'll play some familiar tunes, new tunes, and some stories. So we're looking forward to having her in next Friday the 13th.
By the way, Horace asked me to ask you, we need a picture of you, so when you do your segment, we have you up in the little corners. Can we get a little headshot picture of you, or maybe out on the tennis court throwing a tennis racket?
Is it going to be a comical shot, or does it have to be a professional shot?
Well, I guess it'd prefer to be a professional shot, but if you want to send us one of with your sticking your tongue out and your eyes crossed, whatever, we can do that. I don't care.
8x10 glamour shot.
Yeah.
A glamour shot, exactly.
Yeah. So we need to work on that so we can have your little picture up on the screen here. So I know it's a ways off, but it really isn't. What's going on preparation for Jonesborough Days?
We had our first meeting last week, actually, for Jonesborough Days, Tom, and it's going to be the 4th of July weekend, a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Looking forward to it. So I know I've talked about it before, but for some reason I am over all the eating contests. Don't know how that ended up, but so I'm going to be gearing up and getting ready for the pepper eating, pancake eating, and watermelon eating contest, but I also help out with the tractor exhibit that I enjoy, and we have close to 50 tractors coming in, and Jonesborough Days is known for its handmade crafts that line the streets. We'll have close to 70 vendors, so neat music too. So it's a fun and free festival, and our fireworks will be better than last year.
Yeah, they had a little problem last year. Now, what are the dates for the Jonesborough Days again?
Jonesborough Days is going to fall on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So we want to set up someplace, come down and broadcast on that Thursday and Friday. We want to come down and hang with you on Jonesborough Days. Can we do that?
That would be fun.
We'll bring the show down there somewhere, and you can put us on top of a roof somewhere. I don't know.
We've done it all. We've had it in the flood. We've had it in 110 degrees. So who knows what this year will be like. It might snow.
All right, so let's put us down. We're going to come down and do the show on the 2nd and 3rd of July down there at Jonesborough Days.
Fun.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to hanging out down there with her already.
We should get you in the parade, and you could just broadcast from the parade, riding down the parade.
There'd be a good me and Horace on a bale of hay on the back of a truck.
Well, we need more than a half-ton pickup.
Yeah, we're going for one. What we need, a 3/4 ton to handle us?
At least.
Yeah, handle our girth. All right, that's good stuff. We'll mark it down the second and third. Now, tell me before we get into the quiz show, Pride and Prejudice, the JRT folks. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we love that you all help us talk about Pride and Prejudice and everything going on at JRT. So Friday the 13th, we're kicking that one off. Tickets have been going crazy. We had people trying to get tickets before they were even on sale for this show because their last show sold out every performance almost. So that's going to run Friday the 13th through the 29th. Shows are Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and Saturdays and Sundays they have a matinee at 2.
All right. They're going to get a bigger place because the place
Well, we're going to get one. You know, the Jackson Theater will hold close to 350, so we are starting renovations on that this summer.
That is awesome because they're getting so good and they are outstanding. And we're one of the proud sponsors of the Jonesborough Repertory Theater. And so, in fact, we need to get some tickets to give away on the Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
We need to work on that. So, all right, one more sports tidbit before we get into the quiz show. The latest on Kyle Busch. If you're Kyle Busch, do you sue NASCAR because of what happened down in Daytona or not?
Well, then you have to ask, did the Earnhardt family sue NASCAR when Daddy Dale had his accident?
Good point.
Very good point. Very good point.
But I've been following Mr. Kyle, and he's ready to get back, it seems. I look at pictures and things that he posts, and I guess I'll have to cheer for David Reagan.
That's his replacement for a while. Also, just found this out today. Phoenix has said they're going to supplement their existing barrier system with packs of tires before they get there next weekend. So every track finally starting to take the lead, and after Gordon hit Atlanta yet last week, so they're going to shore up the track a little bit there in Phoenix for next weekend's racing. So, and they should, don't you agree?
I agree. I personally don't think Kyle would sue. I just don't think that's him. Racing is racing, like any other sport. Riding horses or playing basketball, you can get hurt, and you know that going in.
Yeah. All right. 3 people Horace doesn't like. See if you like him. Do you like Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
You know what? I was against him for quite some time, but he has grown on me. He just really seems to be a genuine guy, and he's doing better. But I'm halfway.
You're halfway with him. Horace does not like Denny Hamlin the way he talked to Danica Patrick back before Daytona. Do you like Denny Hamlin?
I love me some Denny Hamlin, and Danica, well, there are no friends in racing.
All right. Woo! Now, do you think Danica Patrick can drive? Female asking a female. Or female asking
You know what? She probably does better than me, but when she's on the track and my driver's near her, I get nervous.
All right. And the last one, he doesn't like A-Rod. Do you like A-Rod?
Take it or leave it.
There you go. All right. Here we go. Now, last week you went 5 for 5 on the quiz show. Who are we playing for this week?
Well, last week I won for Raymond Yoakley. So we've been talking about Pride and Prejudice in the theater. Let's play for the theater, Jennifer Schmidt, the artistic director.
All right, Jennifer Schmidt. Here we go. Theme show time. Woo! We've got our buddy the buzzer from the town of Jonesborough. Again, the winners, we've added some more prizes. You get a free oil change, American Import and Auto Repair. You get a free gift certificate from Vito's on Main Street in Kingsport. You now get a free haircut from Cherokee Barbershop on South Rome Street in Johnson City. And you get some free courtesy passes to spend the day on everything at Bays Mountain Park is free. The planetarium, everything up there you get in free. And all that's right around about $120 value. So pretty good stuff playing for Jennifer Schmidt. And here we go. Question number 1, true or false, music trivia. Buzzer, one of the members of the group Fleetwood Mac, actually, their last name was Fleetwood. Is that true or false?
That's false.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
Hit the buzzer.
Oh,
no. Buzzer, the drummer's Mick Fleetwood. So, all right. So, okay, here we go.
Here we go. Get it out of the way.
Buzzer. All right. Question number 2, Paul McCartney. His first name is James. Is that true or false?
That's true.
You got it. Hit the bell, please, sir. All right.
Let me get the bell here. Hang on.
Get the bell.
There we go.
He didn't think he was going to get any. He left the bell off on the side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Question number 3, literature trivia. Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer had a girlfriend. Her name was Becky Nelson. Is that true or false?
I think that's false. I don't think that's her name.
There you go. Hit the bell. It would be Becky Thatcher. All right, hit that horse. She's 2 for 3. All right, question number 4, staying with Tom Sawyer. Her name was Becky Thatcher. Tom Sawyer nicknamed her Bessie. He called her Bessie instead of Becky. Is that true or false?
I think it's false.
All righty. Final answer?
Yeah.
All right, hit the buzzer.
Oh.
Good. She said, oh. All right.
That was my question.
Yeah. Yeah, you can blame him for that one.
Way to go. It's the Denny Hamlin. It's Denny Hamlin, right?
There you go, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
She like me. How did you say it? I like me some Denny Hamlin. So,
yeah.
Is he a cutie pie?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Let's see. Do you think Danica's pretty, girl to girl?
Yeah, she is. She's very pretty.
All right.
God, her hair looks great. After wearing that helmet, and her hair looks great as my driver speeds by her.
Oh, you got a rim shot over? That's pretty good.
All right, well, let me get back
give
up.
me a rim shot. Buzzers.
Here we go. Here's the rim shot.
Here's
That's a good one.
As her driver goes by her, she has pretty hair. All right. Last question, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. In college, he played at UCLA. Is that true or false?
Ooh, what's so funny?
I don't know.
I got some bleed over here on my.
Now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played at UCLA. Is that true or false?
That is false.
False. Final answer?
Yes.
All righty. Hit the buzzer, please. Okay. Buzzer. You went 2 for 5 today, dear. So next week we'll try it again. You want to ask me or you want me to ask you again?
I'll ask you.
Oh, heard that little tension in her voice. I'll ask you. All right. So Jennifer Schmidt, and I'll play for Jennifer next week. How's that? All right. Buzzer, give me the website we can go to find out more about Jonesborough, please.
Sure. Find out more to do, what's going on, where to eat, where to shop. In Jonesborough, you can visit historicjonesborough.com.
Now, are you upset because when you said, sure, Tom, like whatever, are you a little upset because you didn't do good?
You know, they call me Buzzer. It's amazing I won last week. I don't even know what was going on there, but no, it's starting to, set in that my name is Buzzer, and I'm just not going to win a lot.
All right. Hit the theme show music, my friend, please. Buzzer, you are awesome. Thank you, dear. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next Thursday, all right?
Sure thing. See you soon.
All right. Good job. Appreciate it very, very much. The lady of the buzzer lady. All right. Again, the quiz show, not so good. 2 for 5. The Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Bracken Paving scoreboard will stay the same today. How did she – see, I didn't want to really call her out, but how do you not get Fleetwood Mac? I mean, I assumed that everybody knew.
Light year, Tom.
I know, light year. And what was the one I missed yesterday or Tuesday when Richard, I thought it was going to be 5 trues, or he went 5 trues. All about the heating, global warming.
Yeah.
That the Earth heats up a degree every year.
It
once
heated
a year.
up only 1 degree since, I don't know,
whatever
ages
it was.
ago.
I bombed that one. Also, what was that one you just mentioned I bombed?
The light year.
Light year.
How long does it take light to travel in one day?
Yeah, but Fleetwood Mac, they've been around for years. It's one of those tired bands you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And the drummer's Mick Fleetwood. Anyway, she didn't get that one, and she missed Tom Sawyer. Bessie was what Tom Sawyer called his girlfriend instead of Becky, and she did miss Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played at UCLA. So there you go. Quiz show in the books for today. Tomorrow, we're asking Horace the questions, and I can go on record right now and tell you there will not be a 5 for 5 tomorrow. I promise you. They will not go. There you go. He's been laughing at me all week.
I went 4 for 5 last week.
But no cigar.
And I came real close.
How close? Real close. All right. All right, we'll take a break. We'll go live to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They're iced in Middle Tennessee. No hoops, but we're going to talk to Doug Fritz nonetheless. He's scheduled to join us coming up next here on this Thursday edition. We thank you for being with us as you're watching and listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on YouTube. Again, also on iTunes. We're also on TuneIn Radio. We're live streaming right now around the world at livestream.com. And also we're the Stitcher.com and Stitcher phone app. There's 5 different places you can find us, either live now or later on by virtue of podcasting. Let's go to the phone. He's live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Doug Fritz, sports writer for the Johnson City Press. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
You misspoke there. You said Murfreesboro. You meant to say Snowboro, because that's where we are.
What's going on with the weather down there right now? Apparently it's pretty dicey. What's happening?
Well, it's very cold right now. The roads are icy. Some of the main roads are clear, but it's just, there's a lot of icy spots, and, they just thought better of it instead of trying to play today. They just postponed all the games.
So everything's been put on the shelf. So what happens now? We got to double things up tomorrow. Is that right?
No, they'll just play basically the schedule that was today. They'll play that tomorrow, and they'll push it back a little bit to allow the roads a little time to get ready. I think they're going to start at 1:30 tomorrow. So Elizabeth and the girls are not going to play till 6:15 Eastern time. And then on Saturday, Middle Tennessee State women have a game at 11 a.m., so they have to wait until like 2:30 to start on Saturday. So if Elizabethton makes it to the semifinals, they won't play till 10 o'clock Eastern time. And then they set the championship games for 1 o'clock, 3:30, and 6 o'clock on Sunday.
So they're going to play the championships on Sunday. I guess they have
Yes,
to,
sir.
right? Yeah. So run that down for me again. Elizabethton will play tomorrow at what time?
6:15 Eastern time.
Okay.
And they'll play Martin Westview. And then if they win, they would play Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Wow. And then
And the interesting thing is, too, you got the time change apparently coming up this weekend. So, any teams that make it to Sunday that are on the eastern half of the state, they're looking at basically a 2-hour swing there on the way back. So it's going to be an interesting weekend.
So they'll play Sunday if they make it to the state championship. We're talking about the Lady Cyclones, the defending state champs. So with everybody iced in Murfreesboro as we speak, or Snowboro as you called it, do they get a chance? Can they get out and practice today? They just got to lay around in the hotel rooms.
Well, fortunately, like I said, the main roads are clear, and they were waiting on that to happen. So Elizabethton just went out for a practice. saw Coach Gallion from Morristown West. They had gone out for a practice or were getting ready to. So I think just about all these teams down here are going to be able to sneak out to a gym and find one of the local gyms and get an hour or two of shooting in. And that's a good thing for everybody.
Talking to Doug Fritz, he's live in Murfreesboro, and we certainly appreciate him checking in with us live and with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Yesterday, Morristown West, you mentioned Coach Gallion got a big win over Arlington. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, they did. With the hustle and bustle of things, I didn't get a chance to see it, but that's a big win for them. They've been knocking at the door a lot, and he's had a great program there, and the only bad thing is about winning that game is their reward is they got to play Blackman with all those Division I players, including one that's going to wind up going to Connecticut, and it's going to be a tough sell. And I talked to Coach Gallion earlier this morning, and I said, well, Coach is going to take your A++ game to beat them, and he thought about it for a minute, and he said, is there a letter before A? Because that's what we're going to have to do to win.
That's awesome. The Final Four in the AAA Bearden in Oakland, they won yesterday, and of course Blackman 30-2, and Morristown West 30-6 will play tomorrow, 12:30. I guess it'll be 12:30 Murfreesboro time. AA, Westview and Elizabethton. Lady Cyclones 31-0, Westview 24-12. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's go also look at the single A. South Green, the Lady Rebels beat Community 48-46. So congratulations to the Lady Rebels. They're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I didn't get to see that game, but I was just reading a little bit about it this morning. South Green was down 1 with 2.6 seconds and got a 3 out of the corner to win the game by the Crum girl. And, that's just a great win for that program. They've been on top before, and it looks like they're trying to fight their way back. And they get a tough semifinal opponent, too. They get the undefeated Middleton, which has been ranked number 1 all year.
And so they'll play again. Everything's been scrapped today. They'll play tomorrow. And, again, as Doug said, they'll play at 6:15 Elizabethton or Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. Again, what kind of fan base? Does South Green and Elizabethton have a lot of fans down there?
Well, yeah. I mean, both those schools support their teams a lot. It's a little bit longer haul, obviously, for Elizabethton, but they got a big crew down here, and South Green's always been known for supporting their team. And, it's an exciting time of year for these girls and these basketball programs that have worked their way into these spots.
And, of course, the guys come up and they play next week. Is that correct?
That's correct. They hopefully will be on schedule. I was telling somebody earlier today, I'm pretty sure, and I don't have any documentation to prove this, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time in the history of Tito's AA State basketball tournament under the current format where they've had 3 classifications, which started in 1976. I'm pretty sure this is the first time they've ever postponed a day's worth of games, and maybe the first time they've ever even had to change times on any games because of the weather.
Yeah, it's unprecedented, no question. And, of course, the ice there, we're supposed to get some of that up here, although it's not, as of now, here in the Media Tri-Cities doing much of anything. But I guess once nightfall comes, it can change, and it's supposed to get very cold tonight. Doug, stay warm again. Thank you, my friend. Probably check back in with you tomorrow again and do another preview as Elizabethton plays tomorrow. And, again, South Green's still in it, and Morristown West will play tomorrow, too. So we may holler back at you tomorrow if you don't care.
Yeah, just give me a shout, and we'll work it out, and hopefully they'll get to play some basketball tomorrow.
Now, what does a journalist do now? You're snowed in. What are you going to do this afternoon? Take a nap, watch movies on the TV in the hotel, walk around? What does a journalist do?
Well, in the days of social media, it's harder to find downtime, it seems like. So earlier today I did a little program I do called Jumping Through Hoops, and I put that up on Facebook where I interviewed Megan Petrowski and Sarah Robinson. So I do little things like that, and I write stories about the games being postponed and rescheduled and all that stuff. But I guess the difference is I can get all that done well before deadline, so that's a good thing.
There you go. So you will get some downtime just to kick back and relax, right?
Yeah, finally sometime this afternoon or evening.
All right. Well, enjoy your time off. Thank you so very, very much. Stay warm, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, all right?
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Yep, good job. Doug Fritz again from the Johnson City Press. Appreciate him very, very much. And, again, they're iced in. At least the back roads to the point in Middle Tennessee. Yeah, that's unprecedented. I don't ever remember them changing the dates because of weather in March in Middle Tennessee. But everything is down for today, and they'll pick back up on a regular schedule tomorrow. So Elizabethton has a day off, another day off. So they'll play tomorrow evening at 6:15 our time. If they win tomorrow night, they'll play at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. And then they'll have to come back out for the AA championship and play I think he said on Sunday afternoon in the afternoon. So crazy schedule. So if you're a coach, you're completely out of the routine now because you got another day of laying around.
Well, they were out of the routine last week.
Yeah, for the last 2 weeks.
Nothing new.
Well, I'm talking about the state tournament. They're out of routine, too, very much so. And so 6:15 tomorrow night, Elizabethton plays. If they win, they'll play Saturday night at 10 o'clock our time. And then, again, they'll be asked to come back and play on Sunday for the state championship. We certainly hope they're in it to bring back another state championship to the Northeast Tennessee area. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're just before the top of the hour. David Carmichael is going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. Our good friends at Bracket Asphalt Maintenance at 323-8726 is the number to call. You'll be able to see them at the home show coming up this weekend. They'll start tomorrow, goes from 4 to 8, on Saturday from 9:30 till 7, and Sunday from noon to 5. They showed a schematic in the Kingsport Times News today. And as soon as you walk in the main doors, go to the left, and you'll see the bright yellow display area. And if you're there tomorrow and Sunday, you get a chance to get a free picture. Try it again.
With the Apesters. There you go.
With the Apester. How's that? Put your arm around the Apester and get a free picture with the Apester. And so she'll be there on Friday and Sunday. I guess you can practice on a Tommy. Just to give him rabbit ears. So if you want a picture of Wyman.
Who wants a picture with him?
Somebody might. His wife probably with his kids, or maybe not. So they've got potato chip clips. They got fingernail files, got all kinds of free goodies and doodads, we call them, there at the table. And, of course, they got a nice, very, very nice presentation. And they're taking usually they have legal pads full of folks wanting quotes. And I know you're a proud recipient of some paving job done at your place.
I am a patron of Bracken Paving.
There you go. Took care of at the Horace House, right?
At the Horace House.
There you go. Mrs. V was happy?
Yeah.
There you go.
And so was the Sheila Fay.
The Sheila Fay was happy. The boat.
It's parked, in the summertime, it gets parked on that.
Right on that pavement.
Yes,
there you go. The Sheila Fay. I love it. So, anyway, that's his mistress, by the way. He calls her the Sheila Fay.
No,
the mistress is the bike.
Yeah.
The motorcycle. I'm sorry. And the name of the mistress' bike is?
I haven't named the bike yet.
I didn't think so.
I just call it my mistress.
Your mistress, yeah. Your bike's your mistress. And then the boat's the Sheila Fay. And your truck, have you named your truck yet?
Snow White.
Snow White. There you go. So you can't, I'm telling you, can't beat this guy here. He's a piece of work. So they Snow White. Anyway, Bracken Asphalt Maintenance did his driveway. You can do yours. 323-8726, the number to call. They go all over the Tri-Cities. On a typical day, you would call Tommy, and it's like connect the dots. Damascus, Elizabethton, Mountain City. He's all over the place every day giving quotes. And, of course, the crews go back in behind him once folks sign up, and they do a super job. And so it's 323-8726. They're also the proud sponsor of the Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance scoreboard. And so we appreciate these folks very much in allowing us to promote them each and every day here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, before we go to the break, we can be found where now? Tell us how we can be found.
Okay, right now, if you're listening to us, it's on livestream.com. After the show's over, I'll post it, and you can catch it again on YouTube, which is great. And if you just want to podcast it and download it and listen to it at your leisure on your car or wherever through your smartphone, Stitcher.com or the Stitcher app you can download to your phone. iTunes is a great resource. And believe it or not, TuneIn Radio, man, they're leading the pack right now for us. I'm proud of that.
Oh, really?
TuneIn Radio, that's the major hub for us on our podcasting. So.
Now, Horace has had a research and development, so from the analytical standpoint, you're always telling me we got some analytics. So we've got folks watching, listening in California. Is that correct?
Well, we got hits out there. I mean, and it's consistent. So it may just be a hub, an internet hub, but
they're there
for 3 different spots. It's kind of, I don't know if there's 3 different internet hubs that close together, but I know Kansas is a big internet hub, and there's one in Virginia. So I kind of wrote those off, but. We've had some hits in the state of Washington, definitely California, of course, in Virginia. We got North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. We've had had 1 or 2 hits down there. So
yeah. So
and these are IP addresses that log in. That's how we track it. So
people.
It's over your head.
Just tell them we got listeners. And
we got listeners
in those states. Yeah, I don't know. You went into some hub about Kansas. I don't know. Only thing I know about Kansas is where Dorothy's from. So all we're saying is, see, got in that technical mode. I shouldn't have went down that trail because went right over my head. Bottom line is you're watching, listening. We got a lot of likes here and follows in the Tri-Cities, and we certainly appreciate that. Folks like Hank Brown from We Run Events and our buddy Travis Ward out in Colonial Heights, attorney Jeff Luthke in Kingsport. Appreciate these folks. Andy Dietrich from Champion Chevrolet Cadillac. We appreciate them on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile. Andy is a follower and a liker. Is that how you say it? Liker and follower? Follower and liker?
Liker.
Yeah. A liker and follower? I don't know. So, anyway, you can tell I'm an 8-track boy in an MP3 world. I'm proud of that. So
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. And he's every day when we try and after the show we try and do things to get the word out about the show, and I'm learning how to do these different tasks, if you will, and it very quickly becomes an animated session with Horace because it's like you gotta hit, and so he's trying to coach somebody who doesn't know anything for 35 years in social media. So I'm learning, but I really try your patience at times, don't I?
Well, I love it.
Yeah. There you go. Give me some taters. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll check in with David Carmichael from the Johnson City Parks and Rec in hour number 2. As you are listening and watching, we thank you for that. The Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident? So, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Hour number 2 on this Thursday, March the 5th, day number 19 of our Fun and Frolic. We're getting ready to finish out our fifth week, right?
Moving right along.
Yeah, having a blast. Loving it every minute of it, and love talking to folks like David Carmichael. Let's go to the phone. And he's there. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am doing great. Listened to your show, parts of it yesterday, and loved the Elvis quiz. Being an Elvis fan myself, love the Elvis quiz.
Yeah. So should I have gotten those questions? Because I blew them. Obviously, I missed the first 3. Should I have gotten those? Were those pretty easy?
Well, the only one that I missed was the graves. I also thought there was 3 graves at Graceland, because I've been to Graceland. It makes it even bad. I had been to Graceland before, went there in 2001, but the others were kind of tricky. The one about the biggest selling record, that was kind of tricky.
Thank you.
But the others were not. I knew, like the TV one, I knew he had been on 2 national shows before he went to Ed Sullivan. He did the Dorseys, and he had also done Steve Allen.
I may have to get you on the phone as a help coming up next Wednesday. We'll do the Elvis.
Lifeline. David Carmichael's a lifeline next week.
Carmichael.
Yeah, Elvis. I'm an Elvis nut. So.
All right. What was his most famous concert? Was the one Aloha Hawaii or his return?
I think it's like this. You know how, and this is kind of bad to say, Elvis, when he left the 68 show, the 68 Christmas show for NBC, the black leather and the whole thing, that's when Elvis should have retired. That's honest. Michael Jordan hitting the last shot against the Jazz to win the championship. That's when Michael Jordan should have walked off the field, or John Elway should have, leaves after the Super Bowl. Elvis should have retired after the 68 concert.
The comeback concert.
The 68 comeback special.
There you go. That's when he's in the middle, kind of in the round with the leather and the ladies.
Right. That is probably the greatest that's, I think, the greatest musical television event we've ever seen, and that's when he should have. That's Elvis. That's how when I remember Elvis, and I saw him at Freedom Hall in 1975. But I remember Elvis. That's how I want to remember Elvis, is that special, or even the movies back even before that. But definitely that special. I don't want to remember the Elvis at the end of his career.
So I guess you're the first person I've ever met that actually saw Elvis at Freedom Hall in Johnson City back when he was there. So you were there in the show, right?
On the second concert. My brother was in college at the time, so he was able to kind of sneak out and sit in line and get tickets for us. And they sold the first show out, so they decided to, come up. They called the colonel and made a deal. Said, okay, we'll do a second show. They did the second show. They sold 24,000 seats in 26 hours.
Wow. And
then I remember then he came in 70. He came in the winter, in 77, I guess, or 70. And I was at a Science Hill basketball game, and there were people camping out overnight with snow and temperatures in the teens to get in line to see Elvis, to get Elvis tickets.
At Freedom Hall. There you go. So, David Carmichael, I may just have you on the hook come next Wednesday. You may help me out with the quiz show, because I didn't know. Only went 2 for 5 yesterday. Didn't do well at all. So, this man knows Elvis. He also knows his Parks and Rec. He's with the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Let's talk about this runs coming up at the golf course. Tell me about that.
We're doing our seniors are doing an event. Senior Center Foundation doing an event over at Pine Oaks Golf Course. Everybody thinks a golf course is just for golf. Well, with golf kind of declining a little bit over the past few years, public golf, we're looking at different events to have over at Pine Oaks and also Buffalo Valley. Last year we did a foot golf, which is like playing soccer on a golf course. And this year we're doing a run, a 5K run walk. It'll be on Saturday, March 21st at 10 o'clock over at Pine Oaks. You can register at either the Memorial Park Community Center at Senior Services, or you can register online at www.runtricity.net. And it's $20 for early registration, and that includes a T-shirt for the event. Any registrations after March 19th will be $25, and you're not guaranteed a T-shirt after that time. But if you get the early one, you get to $20. So that's what a lot of runners like to do. They collect T-shirts, so that's a big incentive for them to do that. And then you can also register the day of the race over at Pine Oaks from 8 to 9:30. And categories will have all different age categories, groups for the run. It'll be a traditional run on the paved paths over at Pine Oaks. There will also be a grass course. If you want to run barefooted on a golf course, everyone see what that'd feel like. Now, maybe today you might not want to run barefooted at Pine Oaks. You would probably come close to swimming more than you would running, but you can do that. And also dogs, pets are welcome over there. And then this year, new to this is the second. They did this run last year. This year they're having a kids 50-yard dash at 9:30. Any children 9 and under are eligible to run in this event, and it's a $10 early bird special also, and a $15 after March 19th registration fee for the 50-yard dash.
Talking to David Carmichael again from the Johnson City Parks and Rec. He joins each week. So runtricities.net is where I need to go to find out more about this. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Or you can go to our Memorial Park Community Center at the www.myjcparks.com. And just click on the Memorial Park Community Center. It's with our senior services, and you can get more information there. The Senior Foundation they've done several events trying to raise money for the Senior Center. This is the second year of the run they've done this. They had a comedian, Jenny Robertson. I think it's the world's tallest female comedian. She came in this past November, and they're working on a rock and roll show for this coming November, at our Memorial Park Community Center, which would be our first rock concert. We're close to getting the contract signed, and the person who was signing it was a former guitarist on one of probably the best-known Southern rock bands in rock and roll history.
Leonard Skinner?
Leonard Skinner. So
bingo.
They're can't until we get all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Can't say who that person is coming in, but he lives close to Johnson City and is looking forward to coming and rocking out at Memorial Park in November.
We're talking to David Carmichael. Just got a text from the Apester. She said you're going to need all the help you how did she say it? You're going to need all the help you can get to do this quiz show next week. So, oh boy, she's thrown down the gauntlet. Let me make sure I said it right. You're going to need all the help you can get, is what she said. So I may need you.
I'll give you some help on Elvis. I mean, not only do I read, I have in my car, I've got Sirius satellite radio, which has the 24-hour
the Elvis
channel on there, and listen to. It's not just music, but also shows that's hosted down at from Graceland.
All right.
So,
this guy loves Elvis, obviously.
I love my Elvis.
You got it. We're talking to David Carmichael. Before I let you go, give me the update again on kickball, girls t-ball, and softball registration with the Johnson City Parks and Rec.
We are holding open the registration on youth kickball through Saturday. It's $25 for a city resident, $30 for non-city residents, ages 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, boys and girls. With the weather this week, we've pushed that back a little bit. And also, girls softball and t-ball registration still going on. Girls t-ball ages 4 to 6, girls softball ages 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 to 13. And also $25 for city residents, $30 if you're a non-city resident to register. And you can get more information either by calling Wingdeer Park at 283-5822 or go online at www.myjcparks.com.
There you go. I'm going to ask you, here's word association. These are people Horace doesn't like. I'm going to see if you like these guys. What's your take on Jameis Winston?
I am a Florida State fan, so I like Jameis as a player. I'm not necessarily. I separate the player and the person.
All right,
and I don't condone his actions this past year, but I do like him. I think he'll be if he can stay out of trouble, and I think he will. I think he'll be a fine NFL quarterback.
All right. He doesn't like A-Rod. What's your take on A-Rod?
Same thing. I'm not an A-Rod person. I was earlier in his career, and he's even more of an insufferable jerk than Barry Bonds. If you could be a worse jerk than Barry Bonds, if you can make Barry Bonds look like a nice guy, you're doing something right or wrong, I guess.
We agree on something.
All right. Last one, Gino, coach of UConn Lady Huskies. He doesn't like him. Do you like him or not?
You know what? I'm one of the few. I do like him. I guess it was my first year as a graduate assistant at East Tennessee State. I was working we had a women's basketball game on a Saturday against North Carolina at home. And Gino came and scouted the game, and I sat there for an hour and a half when he was an assistant coach at Virginia at the time for Debbie Ryan, and sat there and thought he was one of the smartest and nicest basketball coaches I had ever met, and still to this day think that of him. I mean, just because, he's had his dust-ups with those people 100 miles down the road, that doesn't take away anything that I think of him as a coach, and I was really impressed with him that afternoon. I got to spend with him many years ago.
Spoken from a true Florida State fan.
There you go. A dust up with the folks 100 miles down the road. That is great, Carmichael. That's good stuff.
Well, I'm just a Florida State fan of football. I started rooting for UCLA in basketball when I was a kid, so I'm a UCLA basketball fan and Florida State football fan.
All right, last question before I let you go. March Madness coming up. Does anybody have anything for Kentucky?
Yes, I think you got 3 teams that have a real legitimate chance at beating Kentucky: Virginia, Duke, Wisconsin.
Wow. All right.
I'm not going to say they're going to do it, but they've got those I think are the best 3 shots at beating Kentucky that anybody's got. I've watched Virginia play a lot this year, and I'm just really impressed with their defense. And the way to beat Virginia is if you can make the 3-point shots, you're going to be able to beat them. And Kentucky, if they did play Kentucky in a matchup somewhere in the tournament, Kentucky would really have to shoot well from the outside to beat them.
All right, last question. I'll let you go. Elvis, who's the best Elvis imitator out there right now?
Oh gosh, I'm not an Elvis. You want the original. There's no imitation. It's only the original.
Gotcha. Hey, great job, my friend. Appreciate you very much. Keep smiling. Thanks for listening when you're not on the show, and I'll talk to you next Thursday, all right?
Thanks, Tom. See you next Thursday.
Yeah, you're awesome. I appreciate you very, very much. Again, can you be a bigger jerk than Barry Bonds?
There you go.
Oh, my. So, anyway, good stuff. Appreciate him very, very much. And yet it's David Carmichael, Johnson City Parks and Rec. He said, forget the imitators. There's only one. The original. Oh, thank you very much. All the information you're talking about, go to myjcparks.com. Again, this run on the golf course coming up on March the 21st on that Saturday. Again, the 30-yard kids dash and the 5K run walk on the golf course at Johnson City. That should be a lot of fun. And so go to the website, myjcparks.com, to check it out. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you very much. So apparently the Elvis questions, I should have gotten those. He was nice and saying that one of them was pretty tough, but so that was his way of saying a couple of those you should have gotten there, big boy. So there was.
That's why I said you're going down. You're not an Elvis trivia connoisseur.
I'm going to have him on a lifeline. I'm just going to have him on the phone next Wednesday.
I'll have to
just
pull him up
case.
on my cell phone, and we'll have to relay the information to him.
Just in case. I may call on him to do that, and I appreciate him very much. So he doesn't man, he said, you got to be good to top being a jerk, any more of a jerk than Barry Bonds. So remind me next week, I'll ask him. Apparently he has a story for him to say that so adamantly that he's not a fan of Barry Bonds. He may have had a little brush up with him or whatever. So
I'm not a Barry Bonds fan either.
By the way, his list
is
1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's write that down. We're up to Barry Bonds now. So,
but I'd say a lot of people have the same feeling about that.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. So Barry Bonds, there you go. So we'll take a quick break. Let's see, we're on a Thursday. And coming up, we're going to hear from Jimmie Johnson, also Martin Truex Jr., and also David Crum, the TWRA. All that straight ahead here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
On this Thursday, the Tom Miller Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Again, we're on YouTube now. We're on iTunes. We're on, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, YouTube. We're right now live around the world on live.com, livestream.com. We're also on Stitcher phone app and also Stitcher.com. So we're all over the place. And, gosh, just go down memory lane. One of my longtime buddies, we had a blast. We did games together for 20 years. Let's go to the phone. My buddy Rick Spivey from Kingsport. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Tom, I'm wonderful. It's good to hear your voice again. It's wonderful to watch your show. I'm doing great. I miss you, buddy. I will say this: you've caught up with me in the gray head.
Well,
I'm now white. You're not quite as white as I am, but you're getting close.
Well, I just got my hair cut the other day. I had a hair as long as you, and every time I went someplace, in particular in Kingsport, I'd say, "You trying to be like Rick Spivey?" Because I had a pretty good ponytail going. But
well, I'm sorry I didn't see that. I would have loved to have seen it because it would have really. You know, they say that flattery is the greatest form of admiration, and I think that's probably true. So
yeah,
you're trying to imitate me.
There you
flattery
go.
is the greatest form of imitation. In other words,
yeah, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Absolutely. So
yes.
We got to get back together and do a ball game together. Would you do that with me sometime?
I would do it anywhere, Tom. You know that. That was some of the best years of my life. I'm not bragging, but we were good. We were real good, actually.
I hear it all the time. When you and, of course, you back then were Little Ricky. We and Little Ricky.
I hear it, Tom, at least 5 times a week. Everybody sees me. That's exactly right.
All right. So let me ask a couple of questions. What's your take? You're a big baseball fan. What's your take on A-Rod?
Well, I think it's a sad situation. I mean, you got the New York Yankees paying a huge amount of money. I think, $121 million for the next 3 years for a 40-year-old guy that couldn't play dead. So you just got a bad situation there.
All right.
It's a bad contract, period.
All right. Let's go with Jameis Winston. Can he make the NFL?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. He has all the physical tools. He's very intelligent. His only problem is going to be personal conduct, and that's something that neither you nor I can control. So he's responsible for his own actions, but as far as athletically, he'll definitely make it in the NFL.
Talking to my buddy Rick Spivey. We have not talked. Gosh, it's been a couple of years since we ran into each other, and he and I, we hung out, and we
spent 20 years together. In basketball every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and football every Friday night, and baseball every 4 times a week?
4 times a week, absolutely. So. And there's still times when there would be ball games, and when we were, of course, calling Dobbins, but when there was a blowout going on, little Ricky would get up and he'd rattle those keys at halftime, and we knew you were heading home, right?
Well, there was absolutely no reason for my expertise in that kind of game, Tom. I mean, I don't waste my talent on blowouts, you know. It's not worth it.
Would you like to recall the story the time we almost got in a fisticuffs fighting out of the Oak Ridge basketball game? You remember that?
I'll be glad to tell a story, true story. You and I were in a very crowded little situation there in Oak Ridge, and we had the cell phone set up, and, of course, I was in one of my rare forms, and I was not real still, and I was kicking around. You told me about 3 times to quit it. Well, I kicked the wrong thing, and we lost our feed, and you became irate, and I became irate, and we came very close to fighting each other. We would have, except for the guy broke in on us and put a stop to it, but we rode back home in the silence.
We didn't talk to
I'll never forget that as long as I live.
No.
It was wonderful. You were so mad. If you could, you would have killed me, Tom. You would have killed me.
Yeah. The story goes, we were going to a sub-state game. We're in this little cracker box, the little press box at Oak Ridge, and I set the cell phone antenna up on the ledge. I said, Rick, don't move, because I just got it positioned the right way so we can get a signal. I can call this ball game sub-state. A lot of sponsors on the game. So Rick gets up, drags his foot under the table, snaps that antenna off the countertop, could never get his back on, couldn't broadcast, lost all that money, and I was hot. And so we were exchanging words, and I told him one point, I stood up and said, Rick, shut your mouth. And the little guy right beside us, the Oak Ridge TV guy, says, fans, there may be a fight here between the DB announcers. We may need to take a break.
Well, Tom, for our fans, it was a lot more X-rated than that. But in any event, that's true. It does convey what happened. Yes, that's right.
And we did not talk till we got the Baileyton exit because there was a Dairy Queen there, and you said, "Can I stop and get an ice cream cone?"
That's true. I'll admit that. That's very true, Tom. I said, "Will you stop, please, and let me get ice cream cone?" And you said you didn't say anything. You just pulled over.
That's exactly right. And you said, "Thank you. I love you."
Correct. Exactly. Because you are a large man, Tom. I am too, but I wouldn't want to fight you. I really wouldn't.
Oh, last question before I let you go. Tell me about the Tennessee men's basketball team and the Tennessee football team. What do you think?
Tennessee men's basketball team, I think, has accomplished about all they can this year. Only problem with that is I'm afraid Donnie Tyndall's going to get some serious trouble with the NCAA, and that'll void his contract. So we might be starting all over again next year. We'll see at the end of the year. Football program is definitely on the rise. They got the right guy down there. They're gonna come back to prominence, and I think we're okay there.
We need to have you be a regular contributor. Can you do that?
I would be glad to, Tom. And when I get a chance, as you know, today is a snow day, and I said I'm going to tune in and watch my old buddy on livestream.com, and there he sits, smiling and laughing. Got his little beard on. He's looking good.
Hey, I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too, Tom. Thanks for calling.
All right, good man right there. Bye. Oh, I've got stories. Oh, do I have stories? 20 years.
Yeah, you've told me a few.
Oh, the guy is unbelievable. Funny. Oh, my gosh. He's funny. And Rick Spivey, a.k.a. Little Ricky.
Little Ricky.
One night we were doing the picking panel. Oh, what was it he said? Oh, yeah. He said one of the teams we're picking in the playoffs was Ottawa. You know where that's at.
Oh, yeah. That's down
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
He said, I said, what's that mean, Rick? Because I knew I was setting myself up. He said, Taylor, when girl meets boy in TP, she says, Ottawa. Brought me to tears. The guy's, I'll tell you what, he's a treasure. And he and I had, we did games for 20 years. Yeah. And he's awesome, no question. So I'd get him on as a regular contributor. Speaking of, let's switch gears and talk. Got me crying. Jimmie Johnson getting ready to go tomorrow to the, let me give you the lineup here before we get to the interview. Tomorrow they're going to be practicing tomorrow at noon. The Sprint Cup Series will be noon practice. Tomorrow the Xfinity Series will be out on the track for the Gaming Boys 300. I hope I said it right. The Xfinity Series race, 1:30 and 3 o'clock practice tomorrow. Cup qualifying will be coming up tomorrow evening at 7:50 our time. And then, of course, the race will be on Sunday. Brad Keselowski, the defending champ of the race. Joey Logano, of course, had a heck of a run out there in the qualifying. He sat on the pole, set a track record a year ago. But Brad Keselowski beat Junior at the end to win the race. And so let's check in with a guy who's coming off a big win down in Atlanta last weekend. Let's hear what JJ's got to say about heading off to Vegas.
I think next weekend in Vegas will really be a telling sign which teams are kind of geared up for the meat of the season and what our season's based on. So this doesn't hurt by any means, but I'm feeling really good, but I'm not 100% there yet. We'll figure that out next weekend.
This guy is, 71 wins under his belt? He says he's not there yet, and he got a big win down in Atlanta. Started back in the field 37th after that qualifying snafu and raced to the top and wins, brings home the checkers in Atlanta. So he'll be in Vegas for the Cobalt Tools 400. I get it right?
You got it right.
What did I say earlier? Cobalt?
Cobalt.
There you go. Here's our thought for the day from Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. We're calling the Big Easy. And love this. He comes up with some good ones. It's not what the situation is. It's what the situation we make of the situation. I didn't read that right. It's not what the situation is. It's what we make of the situation. So there you go. It's not what the situation is or the problem or the situation. It's what we make of the situation, how we deal with it.
And
so
that is
that's a truism.
That's some pretty wise information.
Right? Absolutely. It's not what the situation is. It's what we make of the situation. He's right. So for every problem, my father said there is a solution, and he's exactly right. And, of course, that's brought to you by the Big Easy. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance at 282-1389 is the number to call, and we appreciate him bringing us the thought for the day. And, again, it's not what the situation is. It's what we make of the situation. All right. Now, coming up next, I'm going to ask this question. You can laugh if you want to. Where are the fish in Boone Lake? Where are they going to go? I've asked this for 2 weeks. I've pounded this drum, but I'm going to find out again from my buddy David Crum from the TWRA. Got some hunting and fishing coming up next, and we'll come right back after we check in with Crum. We'll have him ready to go. Do want to say hello to Robert St. Clair, who listens, watches, and likes the show. Robert St. Clair, longtime coach in Kingsport at Sevier Middle School. Dustin Moore, he likes the show. What we're supposed to do, like it and look it and like it?
You go to the Facebook page and you click on like.
Like and follow. Follow and like.
And follow. If you follow the show, you'll get little email updates or blurbs on your Facebook page that says the show's live and that sort of thing.
There you go. Tony Balk, Evergreen of Johnson City. Kevin Trivet, the trainer at Dobbins Minute. They follow and they like us, and they've watched the show, and now we add my dear friend, the one, the only, Little Ricky. Little Ricky. Taylor. And this is the other thing he would say. If he was feeling a little under the weather, Taylor, Little Ricky's sicky. Oh, yeah. I could do it. There is a time when I could call his home, and his wife would answer, and for about 20 seconds until she said, Tom, is this you? I could wing it. Hey, what are you doing? You want to go out and get something to eat? I could almost get his voice enough she believed me for about 20 seconds, and she'd say, Tom, is this you? Yes, it's me. So, anyway. That made my day to hook up Little Ricky, get a reconnect. Quick break. We'll check in with David Crum, the TWRA. Horace is with us, of course. We got more to talk about. We got some hoops coming up. A lot of the tournaments are playing, starting up, cranked up. Ladies tournaments in particular. The Lady Bucks are playing today in Asheville, the Kimmel Arena. We'll talk about that. The guys play tomorrow. We'll get a preview of the Southern Conference tournament tomorrow from Michael Delaney. So we're moving on here each and every day, gathering more folks, more listeners, and we appreciate that. David Crum coming up next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Part of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Thursday, again, March the 5th, and it's only our 19th day of the show. But again, tell folks, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Again, all kinds of ways to find us. Livestream.com, as Rick said a few minutes ago, and we're there around the world. The Tom Taylor Sports Show, Livestream.com. Tonight, you get it up in about 2 or 3 hours. You'll have it up podcasting when you get it up on the, I guess, the podcasting screen or whatever you call it, right?
I try to have it up by 5:30, so on TuneIn, iTunes, and Stitcher, it should be there, and YouTube's very shortly thereafter.
Yeah, YouTube's really, I mean, they're all easy to go to, but YouTube, Just go there and type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
In any of those venues, just type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show in their search bar.
And there we be.
Yep.
There you go. Now, you told me that we go to TuneIn Radio and review the show. That helps. Captain Drew said if you go there to go to TuneIn Radio and review the show and tell them what you think of the show.
Right. On any of the venues, if you hit review and say a few good positive words, that always improves our standing with that particular venue, and we move up the chain. So
there you go. And I just got a call from we're connecting with Crum here. He's out. Apparently, there's not a good signal, so we'll try back and get him on here in just a second. Our guy from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. All right, here's a baseball story. We talked about this earlier in the week. Josh Hamilton, the decision whether Hamilton should enter rehab will be made by an arbitrator after a 4-person disciplinary committee.
Didn't he already go through that?
Yeah, but they deadlocked on – it was a 2-2 vote.
Well, what I'm saying is, didn't he already go through a rehab?
Yep.
So why give him another chance?
Yeah, I guess that's what we're supposed to do, give people another shot.
I mean, if you keep doing this and doing this and doing it, it just gives these other players, well, if he got away with it, I'll get away with it. I can hang off for a year if I've got a $10 million contract.
Relapse off season of cocaine and alcohol, and again, he is he's been back 2 or 3 times, and so
no, he's had his chance.
All right,
that's just me. I mean, he's had his chance.
Now, who's it? Strawberry had umpteen chances. Darryl Strawberry was Dwight Gooden. He got into trouble too, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, those guys got multiple chances.
Yeah,
so
I'm sorry, that's sending the wrong message, especially to the younger players and younger kids that are moving up the chain. I'm sorry.
The decision Josh Hamilton should enter rehab will be made by an arbitrator after a 4-person disciplinary committee deadlocked on the decision. So,
deadlocked.
Why wouldn't the team? See, he's playing with the Angels now. Why wouldn't Josh Hamilton voluntarily, or maybe he did, I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to. I see what they're doing. He's trying to keep him getting suspended from baseball again. So I think he's already agreed he will go do this. But now he's got to get the blessing of Major League Baseball. You know, he flew to New York last week and had to go behind closed doors and meet with the big brass. So the decision Josh Hamilton should enter rehab will be made by an arbitrator.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is
Josh. All right. I'm done. I'm out. Okay. Let's put that right over there. Now, do you want to put him? Do you like him? Do you like
Hamilton?
Josh Hamilton? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the guy that way. I mean, he's a great pitcher, but I mean, like
does he go on the X list?
He's on my X list because he's had his chances.
Right there with Barry Bonds. We've added Bonds today. Josh Hamilton. You don't like Fleetwood Mac, or no, you don't like old bands trying to make a comeback, trying to hang around.
I love the. Don't get me wrong. I love the music.
Yeah.
But to see these guys perform, it's just not the same. Of course, maybe it's because I'm as old as they are.
Yeah. There you go. Fleetwood Mac will be in Knoxville this weekend, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I was real torn to go down there and see Stevie Nicks. Now, I'm telling you, she's
not what she used to be.
She's a doll baby. 60, almost 70 years old. I'm going to tell you, and she can flat sing.
I can see you and Stevie. I mean, she's your kind of girl. I can tell. I can see it. I can see it.
Before I had that haircut, I had my hair down to here. Before I had my hair, I could roll right in there and say,
"You had a crush on her, didn't you?"
I think she. Well, no, I don't have a crush.
Oh,
I think
come on to what you're talking
about.
No,
her. She's a pretty girl, and she can sing. So, but I don't necessarily line up with her philosophy off stage on some of the things she believes in. But purely as a singer, yeah, I think she still got it. Now, some of the bands I've seen, I saw a YouTube the other day, Bob Seger. You know, of course, the guy had a hoarse voice to begin with.
Yeah.
But some of his songs I've seen him sing, he's struggling to say the least. But Fleetwood Mac, now when Skinner came to Kingsport a couple of years ago for Fun Fest, man, they were on. Of course, he's not the lead singer. He's gone, Ronnie Van Zant, but his little brother is his lead singer. They were dead on. They could do it. And, of course, was a big Skinner fan, and yeah. And what about the Eagles? You think they're tired and they should stay home?
The Eagles, they've had their on and off times, but, yeah, their heyday is gone too. I mean, they had a comeback album, a couple of years ago. I won't say it when blank freezes over. That was
yeah.
I remember talking about it, and they had a little video, and that was I think it was a good comeback for them at that time, but from here on out, no.
All right. So
no.
Don't like the Stones.
Let it be what it was. I mean, that don't try to come back and ruin it.
Leave it the way it was.
Yes. Good band, great band. Let's go out on a high note.
All right, here's your homework. Did you follow Fleetwood Mac at all?
A little bit.
All right. I want you to go to YouTube because they're bringing clips out of some of their concerts now, the 2015. So go back and pick a song you like and watch it tonight. And tomorrow tell me if you think they still have it or not, because crowd, it's a sellout down there at Thompson Bowling on Sunday. Is it Sunday, the 8th? Yeah. So high school from last night in Virginia. Southwest Virginia, these are girls' scores. Wise Central moves on to beat Chatham 61-30. Gate City Lady Blue Devils got beat by Floyd County 53-41. And so Wise Central plays tonight at Richlands Middle School against Floyd County in the championship. And that's in 2A. And the 1A in Virginia at Lebanon High School tonight. Clintwood will take on Twin Valley. So those folks trying to get onto the big dance in Southwest Virginia. Again, as we talked to Doug Fritz earlier from Murfreesboro, it's been iced out literally in Murfreesboro today. They've canceled all the games there at Middle Tennessee State because the roads, as he said, main roads pretty clear. The back roads were very, very icy, and so they've canceled everything in Murfreesboro today. They'll pick back up tomorrow. Of course, last night Morristown West won from our neck of the woods. South Greens ladies in Single A won. Morristown West in Triple A, and so the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones will have to play tomorrow night at, what do you say, 6:15? Yeah, 6:15 tomorrow night. And if they win that one, they'll play at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, and they'll have the state championship on Sunday, and that'll be happening at Middle Tennessee State in Murfreesboro. So all that's going on in the high school ranks. College coming up, let's see, the Lady Bucks will take on at 4:30. Coming up today, Lady Bucks will take on the number 7 seed Western Carolina at 4:30 at Kimmel Arena at UNC Asheville. Also, Western Carolina will take on the guys tomorrow at 2:30 at the no longer the Asheville Civic Center, but the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville, North Carolina. They'll play there tomorrow, and we'll have a Southern Conference men's tournament preview from Michael Delaney tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing from Michael, longtime friend, and we'll talk to him. Also, the Buck baseball team got beat 8-6 again in Asheville yesterday. They're now 7-3 on the season. They'll be back home to host West Virginia this weekend. Hey. Starting tomorrow at 4 o'clock at Thomas Stadium. Again, you need to go by Thomas Stadium. You're talking about a primo ballpark where the Bucks play their home field, home stadium, and it is awesome. Very, very nice. And so the Mountaineers will be coming to town this weekend to take on East Tennessee State on a 3-game set Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then also Milligan's men's basketball team had talked to Daniel Monge yesterday from Milligan, and they're going to be playing their opening round game against Dakota Wesleyan in Point Lookout, Missouri. They'll be playing next Thursday a week at 4 o'clock, and we'll be talking to Coach Robinson of the men's basketball team. Last time the Buffs were in the national tournament was 2001, so that's the first time they've been in 14 years. So that's a neat thing. So
little stretch there.
Yep, all that going on again. It's been a crazy world of sports. Let's squeeze in before we get out of here. Martin Truex Jr., the front row sports Chevrolet driver, getting ready to put the car on the track beginning tomorrow at noon for practice in Las Vegas at the Cobalt Tools 400 this weekend in Las Vegas.
Obviously, everything's working out so far pretty well. There's definitely room for improvement. Obviously, there always is, but happy with the decisions that have been made, and this is just a good start to the year for us again. So we can just start building on this, start building some consistency, and if we can run towards the front each and every week, we'll put ourselves in position to win some races, and that's ultimately what we're here for.
Martin Truex Jr. again be out there tomorrow in the front row Sports Chevrolet, trying to get qualified and do a good job. And so looking as ahead to Vegas, he's currently 5th in points. Logano, Jimmie Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex Jr., top 5s. He's off to a really good start. And big race coming up 3 on the West Coast. After this one, they'll go to Phoenix and then go to Fontana, California before they come back to Martinsville. And
you think Kurt Busch is going to be there?
We didn't even talk about that. He got cleared of his criminal charges. Is that correct?
Kurt Busch will not face criminal charges in the case with his ex-girlfriend.
There you go.
So what standing does that put NASCAR on? If you're not convicted or if you're not charged in a criminal matter.
Does that free him up to come back?
To me, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But
you're right. So, of course, we're not folks of the law, but, again, Kurt Busch not facing any criminal charges. So, for my money, I would think that would free him up to – see, NASCAR suspended him until they made this decision.
They indefinitely suspended him.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even come near track.
Yeah, and so he has agreed to reinstatement terms. He's got to jump through some hoops to come back to the track. But now they were waiting on this, again, out of Delaware. Suspended NASCAR driver Kurt Busch not facing criminal charges over the alleged assault of the trained assassin, ex-girlfriend Patricia Driscoll at Dover back in September. Might not affect Busch in the interim because he's under suspension by NASCAR. Well, I would think that would give him a little leverage to say, okay, they've cleared me, so you guys need to speed this thing up and get me back on the track.
This has something called pretrial diversion written all over it.
Really?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
All right. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Pretrial diversion.
It's kind of like a probationary period. You do what you got to do, and you go through this anger management and all this. There's some terms put out, and if you abide by them and everything goes hunky dory, there's nothing on your record. It's wiped clean. There's no criminal charges. They don't go forward with any prosecution.
So he's not out of the woods yet, is what you're saying?
Well, that's a possibility.
All right.
Possibility.
All right. We'll see. But, again, they've dropped the charges. There will not be any charge against him in Delaware. So she won earlier, I guess. I guess you would say in this case he won this one, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, not facing criminal charges over the alleged assault of his ex-girlfriend at Dover International Speedway. By the way, he's got him a new girlfriend named Ashley. And
bada bing.
As they say, as my father used to say back home, very tactfully, she's easy on the eyes. So, so anyway, Kurt Busch got him a new girlfriend. This one's history, and dropped with the criminal charges in Daytona. We're about done, aren't we?
Yeah,
that's
fast.
It's been a fast show. Yeah, we've had a blast. Thank you very much for being with us. Again, we treat this show, sports as one spoke in the wheel of life. We don't take it too seriously. It is what it is, and we certainly appreciate all of our guests today. That would include the buzzer, Alicia Phelps, also Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press live from Murfreesboro, David Carmichael, big Elvis fan we found out, the Johnson City Parks and Rec, David Crum, the TWRA, and Little Ricky made a cameo appearance on the show. We'll have to get him on more often. So, Horace, good job, my friend. We'll be back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, right?
Yep, we'll be here.
We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. And always we tell you as we close things out, again, let me run down the sponsors. We wrap this thing up for you today. Been brought to you by the good folks from Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Wells Fargo, the Financial Network, also Bracken Asphalt Maintenance, Max Medicine Mart, where the now product line is 20% off through the month of March. Jim Klein, Farmers Insurance, #1 Farmers Insurance agent in 5 states. He's located on Center Street in Kingsport. Vito's on Main Street in downtown Kingsport. Whoo, mamma mia. I'd like to go over there tonight and get me some baked ziti. I may do that. I may just sash over there and get me some food. Cherokee Barbershop, thank you to the Gator Man and also to Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. For Horace, this is your host, Tom Taylor. Again, thank you for giving us a listen. And always, we tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. Back at it tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Big day going into the weekend of college hoops, NASCAR, NFL, all kinds of good stuff. Join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.